What is up, my friends, and welcome to another edition of the UFL Week in Review, where we recap Week 2. We've got our picks. How did we do with our picks? How did we do with DFS? What's going on with fantasy? What is going on with pick'em games, plus our awards, and so much more. So without further ado, folks, let's just get into a weekend of the review of Week 3 in the UFL.
USFL is in business.
The XFL is underway.
There's no doubt spring just got stronger.
All right, we've got our recap of our picks for Week 3 in the UFL season. First, the DC Defenders at Arlington Renegades. I was worried about this one. I didn't want to pick against my DC Defenders, but I was concerned, and I was wrong. DC Defenders 29, Renegades 28. What I got wrong is the spread because the DC Defenders won. I picked the Renegades. I got correct on the over, but of course the money line was wrong because I picked the Renegades. So didn't do well there, but I didn't put any bets on this. I didn't do anything because I did not want to touch the DC Defenders. I'm so glad that they won. Maybe this is the last time I picked against DC, but I was a little concerned about this game heading into it, but the DC Defenders came out on top 29-28 in a close one. So it was close. It was close. Memphis Showboats at Birmingham Stallions. Showboats. I picked the Showboats with the spread. The Stallions 33, Showboats 14. So I was wrong with the spread. I really thought this game would be closer, but I got the correct total. I picked the over, and of course I picked the money line. The Stallions win again. Showboats are a good team. They're just still having problems. They're probably definitely at the lower half of the league. Disappointed a little bit in Case Cookus and his play. Not that it's him. I think their offensive line is an issue. And but the Stallions are the Stallions, and I think they found their quarterback as well. Houston Roughnecks on Sunday against the Michigan Panthers. This is one where we thought we were thought who they thought they were, except for the under. Panthers 34, Roughnecks 20. The spread got wrong. I picked the Roughnecks. I thought this game would be closer because the Roughnecks started to play better. Reed Sinnett is in the game. He was playing better. They scored on the first opening drive. I was like, here we go. But that was wrong. The total, they did win over 34. I mean, that's 54 points right there. And, of course, the money line, though, I did pick Panthers to win there. On to the St. Louis Battlehawks and San Antonio Brahmas. I thought the Brahmas at home against St. Louis, another close game or at first, but then it kind of went away later on. Brahmas had a chance. They were kind of making a run at the end to try to make it a game, but in the end, that didn't happen. The Battlehawks stopped them. So I had my pick was the Brahmas against Battlehawks 31, Brahmas 24. Wrong with the spread. I got the total. It was the over. And, of course, wrong with the money line. I was going with the Brahmas. So those were some tough picks this week. Wait till the next podcast where we have more. I think the league has kind of shaked itself out. I think St. Louis is now the top team. They beat a top team. They should be number 2 with the San Antonio Brahmas. They're still a good team. They're in the top half. DC Defenders are in the top half. Maybe even Michigan scratching at the surface, but Renegades and Houston Roughnecks are kind of down there. And even the Michigan Panthers are probably down there, but and the Showboats would be another one down there. But Michigan Panthers are kind of up. I think we kind of know who are the teams. Finn's parlay, that's Finn, my dog, got it wrong. And, of course, the over got wrong. But I will tell you this. I did over for all of them. And I did win. I did bet the over just for fun. I put $1 in and I bet and went $13 because I bet the over on all the games. So I think that's something that we'll keep an eye on now. I think we could probably win next week with a bunch of overs. So those are my picks, and we'll have more picks this Thursday with our next podcast. DraftKings lineup did not do well. Chase Garbers, 82.6% drafted him. Only netted us 10 points. CJ Marvell didn't do much either. Marcel Aitman, 30% drafted, only 1.30 points. He got 3 yards on 1 catch. He was been on fire. Stevenson, it was another guy that was up there that I was high on, only 5 points. Sims, Marcus Sims is a guy to definitely have in your lineup. Look at his game log right here. I mean, nothing the first game, but he's 2 straight touchdowns. Look at the targets. I mean, he only had 4 targets this same game, but caught them all. He had 8 targets the game before. 18 points, and look at that salary. So he could be a guy to definitely keep your eye on. Michigan Panthers, EJ Perry's playing well. Davis, 52% people had it, as I did, Dawood. This was a game that he didn't do. 12, 17, and then 3. So, but again, 5 targets, not 9 and 10 like he did before, but the Showboats haven't played well. I think we know the teams that we kind of want to keep an eye on. But the winning lineup here, he had AJ McCarron, CJ, he had Darius Shepard, 4 points, did nothing. Tyler Vaughn's was a guy, 5,000 with the salary. You can look at his game logs. Look at that, 109 yards on 13 targets, 9 receiving. They went to him at a 5,100 clip. He also had 13 also as well. So you can see the targets. Tyler Vaughn is probably the favorite target, and probably should be in your lineups too going forward. That's another guy to keep an eye on. He did really good. Sims he had, and then the Stallions defense. Probably the Stallions defense is one that you should start every week as well. We've got our fantasy football recap. So I'm upgraded some stuff on the website. I got to work on this top teams thing. But I added some more on. I'll take a look and make sure there's nothing wonky going on with these teams. But top players, Adrian Martinez, Stallions quarterback. He's the guy. EJ Perry played well. Michigan Panthers, he is a guy. Jordan Tamu played out. Luis Perez played well. Tyler Vaughn, you look at him, and Deion Kane, 2 of the top wide receivers. AJ McCarron, solid every time. Akeem Butler and Reed Sinnett, and then Marcus Sims kind of rounding out the top 10 fantasy players of this week. How are we doing with the league? Well, I got 52 points, so I was bottom of the barrel. Darius Victor, Kiki Coty didn't even play in that game, and I wonder if he might be on the way out for DC Defenders. We'll see about that. John Trey did well with 13. I need to find a tight end, so there's definitely some roster movements I will be making. My bench, waiting for Darius Shepard, should have been in there, and Cameron Harris as another guy. There's really not much going on with the running games. Anybody really, like all the quarterbacks are the top runners. And you could see here's T Player 2006 is the top dog here, and I'm in second place. That is our listener league. As far as our writers league, Brahma Stampede leads the way with the points. He's 3-0. You can take a look. Let's see. Snap Jordan beat the Schwartzstein 83-33. Jetpack lost to Brahma Stampede, and I lost to Omar. Did not play well. Again, looking at my lineup, Jordan Tamu, Wes Hills, again, 4 points. Kiki Coty is out. Victor Bolden does nothing. I don't even think is he even on Birmingham. Stephen Mitchell, nothing. So I definitely need to make some adjustments on my lineup as well going forward. And I will be doing that when things open up. We have our week 3 unexpected MVPs. This is a player from the weekend who exceeds expectations in a surprising way, not just the star player, but those who have made pivotal plays or had a standout moment. Tyler Vaughn's 109 yards, a touchdown, 13 targets. He was definitely a top player, and if you had him in your lineup, you probably won the week. As far as the underdog spotlight, a guy who underperformed team or player showed grit and made a significant improvement, a feel-good story, QB EJ Perry. 16 of 19, 208 yards, a passing touchdown, and 2 rushing scores as well. He has now pushed himself up as a top echelon UFL quarterback. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Fantasy fines and flops and fines take on fantasy football expectations. So we've got the flops who underperform and the guys who did the fines. Of course, the flops, Marcel Aitman, 1 point. Has been killing it all season long, and the Battlehawks won. I put in here all the UFL running backs because there is no running backs. There is no running game. There is no solid runner. It is all it's the quarterbacks are leading the league in rushing. And then Chase Garber's 10 fantasy points. We were expecting 10 from him. Why? Because he was basically one of the more expensive guys in DraftKings. So he didn't really show out there. And again, fines, Tyler Vaughn, EJ Perry, Marcus Sims are players that you want that did well. What the football, dedicated to the most bizarre, unexpected moments of the weekend. I put Ryan Santos for the Brahmas kicker, 2 field goals. We had Destroying out there, hadn't kicked a field goal, probably one of the most popular, aside from A.J. McCarron, probably more popular than A.J. McCarron, would you say? In the league, we never got to see him kick a field goal. And finally, when he's out for the season, Ryan Santos comes in, they pick him up, and he kicks 2 field goals. Really? So that was kind of like, what the football? Like it would have been huge for a Destroying to kick some field goals. But now he's finally would have gotten his chance in week 3, but he's out for the season. So we've never got to see him kick a field goal in this league. All right, all in all, I think it was a great week in the UFL. Lots of exciting games. That 4th and 12 really makes a difference in keeping games interesting all the way down the stretch. It'll be interesting to see what the ratings are. We'll talk about that in next episode. And the attendance numbers, they were pretty good, decent. Some hit expectations. Some were above, some were below. Again, that's going to be something wonky throughout the whole season. I really think they need a season under their belt before they actually will start to get comfortable with fans will start coming out. They need to trust the product, that it's not going to go away. And I think that's why the AAF and the XFL in 2020 all had big numbers, and now people have gotten burned. Clearly, USFL fans have gotten burned, XFL fans, because they don't have teams. I think there's a little skepticism. Even though your team made it, there's still a little skepticism. I mean, trust me, I've been covering this since 2018, and I've been like, I don't know if I could do this anymore with all this change. So that's it for this week. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that as always. And then if you're listening to this on the podcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We'll read it on the show if you leave us a review. We really appreciate that. We've got more cool stuff coming up on UFL News Hub. Remember, we have our Pick'em game as well you can play. I've had people message me about having our own DraftKings League. I'll set that up. If you want to be part of that, email me podcasts at UFL News Hub. And that's it for this week. We will see you on Thursday as we preview week 4. You believe that? We're in week 4. We're 2 weeks away from halfway through the season. Think about that and how crazy that is. All right, my friends, that's it for me, folks. As always, God bless, and I will see you all later.